Right guys, I think we should be back now, and the buffering should be a lot worse. I'm glad at least we managed to pick that up before we got to the main qualifying and everything, because that would have been a bit of a bummer. Right. Oh, Elsinger's currently in first. We have noticed that quite a few times. Elsinger's always at the top of practice, but then as all of the big boys start putting in more of their faster times, he does end up dropping down, which is a shame. Right, who should we ride on board with? Black Panther set a lap. Who have we not been with yet? Let's go with Formula Danny, as he's coming to finish a lap. It's a 15.2 at the minute, so not too fast. Oh, back end massively stepping out there on Formula Danny as he goes through Nord Curve. Pushing like crazy on those soft tyres. Don't forget, Elsinger, he has set that quickest lap, but it is on the ultra soft tyres. Meanwhile, you've got VP Mark, who's only 3/10 off on the medium tyres, so there's probably another second for him if he was to put on the ultra softs. Or even super softs. A lot of locking up there from Formula Danny. Front right, locking up massively. This lap time won't count either, because he did run wide through turn 1. Had a massive, massive moment from his back end. Who else is on a lap? Tonizza is on a lap. Let's ride on board with the quickest man in the world, essentially. Ah, he's coming in the pits. Spoil sport. Okay, right. Anyway, riding him back on board with Formula Danny. Oh, that early downshift, that sends shivers down my spine. The back end is stepping out all the way. How do you control that? What is a 12 flat? That is crazy. And he had a massive, massive moment through turn 1. So, my prediction, guys, pole is going to be a 1 minute 10 something. I honestly think that they will find another second somewhere. These guys, they have tricked me before into thinking that their practice time is near their qualifying time. It is not. They somehow find another second out of nowhere. It is actually crazy. Meanwhile, Elsinger, his lap time is really slow. What about Jury? Can he finish a lap in 10 seconds? Let's find out. Weaves gets well out of the way. Jury, it's slow, it's a 1:14.5. Let's ride on board with Black Panther, and he has told me that he is wearing the Schumi helmet, and he got his number changed to number 50 in honor of Michael Schumacher. I believe it was his 50th birthday recently. I can't remember exactly when, but yeah, it was Schumacher's 50th birthday. So our thoughts are with you, Schumi. Right, what kind of time is Black Panther going to set? It's looking quick. It's a 14.1, which moves him up to 6th next to his teammate Mark. Right, let's ride on board with the king himself, Mr. Calcifer, or the king of ORL, we should say. And who's that who spun there? I think that was that James? No, it must have been Shez then, because I'm pretty sure that was a McLaren. Or Calcifer. It's slow, it's a 16 flat, but I'm sure this lap time will be quicker. As usual, he's on the medium tyres. As he runs a little bit wide, he might get a bit of a penalty for that. Well, not penalty, just an invalidated lap time. Let's run on board with Jury. He's a second up on his previous best. How fast is it going to be? It's a 12.5, which sees him move up into second place. Meanwhile, Daniele Haddad, we missed him moving up to third place with a 12.9 on the medium tyres. That is incredible. These guys are just too quick. It's going to be an absolute privilege to be able to watch them. Oh. Just warming up his tyres a bit. Oh, Black Panther is slow right now. What about Velocity James? He's on an outlap. Calcifer, oh, back end. He does have to lift out of it as he tried to go full speed on the right-hander after Mercedes. Daniele Haddad is on a quick lap. Ooh, the back end going mental. and he doesn't know what patience means through Sud curve. It's a 112.6 for Daniele Haddad, and that is rapid on the medium tyres as well. But we say that Formula Danny, he's done a 12 flat on the medium tyres, so clearly he's got a lot of pace on those tyres. VP Mark, he set a 13.9. Was that recent? Black Panther, he's actually on a quick lap right now, so let's stay with him for just a little bit. He'll be hoping to pip his teammate. And it is interesting actually when we look to the Constructors' battles, because it's currently Renault leading, but that is mainly due to the fact that Calcifer and Elsinger they've actually turned up to every single race since race 1, which obviously helps them massively. And the fact that Calcifer's leading the championship by a massive margin. Or Black Panther has a massive moment with his back end, but he sets in a 13.4 and he moves up into 5th place. Meanwhile, Velociphoton, he split the two Hasses and he's in 6th. But everyone... Actually, it's quite surprising. Muller is fairly slow right now, so I wonder how much time he's got left. And Velocity James, he's going to be jumping onto the back of this group soon. But let's see what he can do. It's a slow lap at the minute, so this one won't really count for too much. You know what, let's go... Instead of fitted, what did they do their best times on? Because there's one thing it tells us that they've done their laps on this tyres. Sorry, it's one thing that the game tells us they're on this tyres, but that doesn't mean they did their times on that. Right. So, Black Panther did his on the softs. Formula Danny and Jury did theirs on the softs. Elsinger did his on the ultra softs. But Daniele Haddad, the quickest man to set a lap on the medium tyres by almost a second from Photon. I think VP Mark, he's half a second quicker, so he's going to find a lot of time somewhere. But he is on those soft tyres, so you would expect him just to be that little bit faster. What's this time going to be? It's a 112.9 from VP. Is he still VP Mark? I think he's still VP Mark. And he's in 4th place. But again, on the soft tyres and unable to match the pace of Jury and Formula Danny. Who else can we sit on board with? Formula James starting a fast lap, it would seem. What tyres is he on? He is on the medium tyres. So let's see if he can improve off that 14.1. Again, his esports teammate, Formula Danny, is currently in 1st. And his other esports teammate, Photon, is currently in 7th. But his ORL teammate shares down in 18th at the minute. He'll be hoping to find a little bit of time. James currently 700ths down on what he's done before. Will anyone get into the 11s in practice? I'm sure Daniele Haddad will just put on the softs and just blitz everyone. That's how it's looking right now. Oh, James is into the pits. Where does he brake actually? Okay, so nice, easy, gradual deceleration. Let's ride on board with the man himself, Daniele Haddad, as he comes to set what he'll be hoping is a quicker lap. It's a 10th up, 10th down through sector. Is he a 10th down or a 10th up? I know he's slower, but I want to say he's a 10th down. I don't know. Anyway, there you go, smacking the power on and getting a wallop off the back end, stepping out on him. But that is no issue for him, as he now approaches Mercedes. Massive lock-up on, well, not massive, but a lock-up on the front left tyre. Pull the car all the way over to the left to get the best run through the right-hander. So we now approach Mobile 1. On the power as early as you dare. Get the power on nice and early. It's looking quick. Oh, a gear shift too early and he peels into the pits. I'm pretty sure he shifted down into fourth just a tad too early. Or maybe he was always coming into the pits. But this is looking quick from NLE Jury. David Tonizza gets out of the way as quick as he dares. It's a 12-1 and that is quick. And guys, I've just realised, for some reason I've been thinking Daniele Haddad was David Tonizza for the last 5 minutes. But no, this is David Tonizza, the quickest guy in esports. So let's see what he can do. And if Daniele Haddad is quick enough to do a 12.6, then I'm scared to think what this guy can do. But let's ride on board. Let's see his braking point, then into the hairpin. Very smooth braking, not even a sign of a lock-up. On the power, nice and early. You can just hear the tyres screeching, but no lock-ups. Just a quick blip on the throttle there, just to allow the car to stabilise through the right-hander. Or throwing it in. Have to have so much faith in the car. Or just a gradual little lock-up on the front left tyre there. Will Biancolila get out of the way? No, he thinks he's fine, and he probably is. But how quick is this going to be? It's a 12.4 on the soft tyres. Not bad at all, Mr. Tonizza. Not bad at all. Right, so who else can we sit with? So that lap didn't count for Tonizza then apparently. So he must have run wide, maybe he made a mistake. And Calcifer's left the session? I'm not sure. And look at this, to think that the likes of Velocity James is down in 9th when he finished 2nd in Silverstone, that's disgusting. The strength of this field is ridiculous. Out so wide through Mobile 1. And now into Sachs. Sebastian Vettel's favourite corner. I think they should rename Sachs into Curve Vettel in honour of his crash there earlier this year. And it's a 1:12.0 from Velocity James, which would have seen him in 2nd, but he must have had a penalty for track limits warning somewhere. Twin barrel J on an outlap. You know what? Let's run on board with Myler. We don't give enough of these guys a lot of screen time, so let's sit on board with Myler for a bit. Again, Myler usually very quick in qualifying. This is his race pace that sometimes just lets him down that little bit. He's 1.2 seconds up at the minute. Oh, I thought he was just going to run too wide. Big lock up on the front left tyre. Again, guys, if there's anything you don't understand or would like me to elaborate on or something I'm doing wrong, do let me know in the comments. I'm always more than happy to answer any question. Oh, Myler losing the back end through the final corner, but it's a 13.1 and that puts him up in 6th. Quick lap from Myler, albeit he is on the ultra softs while the likes of VSR Muller is on those medium tyres. And again, that's why practice is so important. You need to be able to compare your different tyre compounds. Which tyre compound is better for the race? Oh god, we're getting the glitch. And Formula Danny is an 11.5. That is a crazy lap from him. Let's see what VP Muller can do. It's a 12.9. It's a slight improvement, but not too much. I think he improved by about a 10th and a bit. So 12.9 for VSR Muller. Meanwhile, the only other driver who's done their fastest laps on the medium tyres is Daniele Haddad with a 12.6 and Velocity James with a 14.1. Let's ride on board with Elsinger then. He's coming around. Can he improve? Can he get into the 12s? That will be his target. No, he's going to come in the pits. He'll have a chance to do one final run then. let's sit on board with Twin Barrel J then. His time seems alright for now. I think he's coming in the pits, is he? No, he's not. Or he runs a bit wide through the second part of the sud curve. Yeah, and that's going to be a slow lap. So 14.86, tenths down on what he had done before. But here is Biancolila. Calcifer, knowing you, you'll find a way to end up finishing on the podium or even winning. So I'm not worried for your sake. But yeah, it's like the strength of this field seems really competitive as Biancolila sits at 14.5. But he must have had a caution for track limits at some point. Oh, Tony's having a massive moment through turn 1. But let's see, can he move up the order? He's currently on the soft tyres. Daniele Haddad is also out on the soft tyres now as well. And he's improved his time to set at 12.0. Let's take a look then. Fitted. Let's leave it at that then. Flat out through the right kink. Where will he brake? He brakes just before the grass ends there on the right hand side. It's a good little marker pod. Bring it all the way over to the left. Use all the curb on your entry. Yeah, R7 mentioned, and I'm so confused now. Do I call him Biancolila? Do I say Mustard White Lilac? I'm just too confused. But yeah. Anyway, oh, this is going to be quick. This is going to be an 11, without a doubt. This is a 111 coming up. A little bit of a moment through the final corner, but it's still quick. It's an 11.8, and David Tonizza goes second. It's a Force India 2-3 at the minute. I wish I could say that in real life F1, but I feel like it'll be a while before I can say that. Just in case you didn't gather from that, I do really like Force India. Right, who is out on a fast lap? Elsinger is coming in the pits. He might get a chance for one final lap or so. Velocity James, I believe he's on a fast lap. Currently on the soft tyres. His previous best was on the mediums. So he'll be hoping to really jump up the order with this lap. But Biancolila, he just doesn't seem to have the pace. But then again, he has been doing his times on the medium tyres. Hopefully we'll be able to get an indication of what his pace is like on some soft tyres or ultra softs. But it'll be interesting to see, will everyone go for... Right, let's just stay on board for a second. It's a 12-0 from James. He moves up into 4th. Look how close it is from 3rd down to 5th. Barely a 10th separating the 3 of them. And I'm sure it'll get closer over qualifying. But as I was saying, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of strategies everyone uses. Will they go for the ultra soft / super soft strategy? Will they go for soft mediums? What is the tyre wear like? Actually, Calcifer, go on, spill the beans. What is your strategy going to be, or what do you expect your strategy to be? Right, who else can we ride with? Tonizza's just a little bit up at the minute, but that's sector 2. Through sector 1 he's a little bit up. A little bit down, sorry, on what he had done before. As I said, pole position is going to be a 10-something. Mark my words. And Tonizza's retired from the session. Formula Danny, he's still pushing. James is a bit slow. Formula Danny doesn't seem slow at all. Ooh, back end. Just hearing the revs rise. It's just fantastic. Right, he'll have 2 more laps after this one. What's it going to be? I think it's slow. 11.8. It's slow. Slow for him. I think anyone else pretty much would kill to be able to get that kind of lap time. So soft medium should be the perfect strategy, or ultra soft mediums. Okay, so I reckon, considering that, we'll probably get a few interesting strategies. Maybe 2 pit stops, ultras, mediums, ultras again, or something ridiculous. So that's something we will have to watch out for. The pit strategies then. if you guys remember to Austria, it was Velocity Formula Danny who went for the two-stop strategy, and he did take Williams Isaac on the final lap in truly extraordinary fashion. So hopefully we can see more of that, although my voice will not want to hear that. Right, I think Photon is on his last possible hot lap. Meanwhile, Mile is the one up there who has joined all the esports drivers, sitting just ahead of VP Model, although it was on the ultra soft. Black Panther also seeming quick, 13.4 on the soft tyres, so not too far off the pace. Whoa! Who was that? I think that was Muller, who I think his DNF car just got in the way, and okay, but I think changing the stream over has seemed to fix the issue. Let's see if Weebs can improve. He's on the soft tyre, so I doubt it. Actually, I reckon this could be a 1:13. I think he could improve. So it seems quite quick, actually. 13.7, that's pretty quick for Weebs, especially considering it's on the soft tyres, not the ultra softs. I'm a bit confused about something, actually. We've seen the ultra softs, we've seen the softs, we've seen the mediums. Are there no super softs available then? Right, and that is the end of practice session, and shortly we'll be going into qualifying. I think it's part of the same session. We won't have to leave and then rejoin. And if we do, I'll get the invite and I'll just join anyway, because that's what I can do. Right. Oh, sorry, just quickly checking something up. Right. Right, so next session is starting up now, and this is where it's going to start getting interesting, where we can really start to see everyone's pace being shown. No one's going to be holding anything back. Or maybe they will for like the first couple of laps of qualifying. But here we go. As usual, let's get up all of our data. We can put it on fitted for the start, and then we can change it over a little bit later. So, who's going to be the first person to blink and head out of the pits? And we can ride on board with them for what will be the first hot lap of round 11 at Germany. Oh, I hear engines rising, and that can never be a bad thing. Oh, who's going to get out first? Is it going to be Twin Barrel J? No, it's going to be the... Is that Mechmester or is it Muller? It's Weke's out first, and Twin Barrel J is shortly behind him. Or not far behind him. So let's ride on board with Weke then. Just warm up the tyres, get some heat into them. Don't press the DRS button or you will spin. And this is my favourite corner of the track. I've somehow managed to hit Black Panther twice there in the social race. Once was actually on the formation lap, so there you go. A little bit of a lock up. I'm surprised that he would want to lock up his tyres on his out lap, but there you go. If that's his fast lap and he's put a bit more wear on them, that can't be a good thing. But anyway, we want to get in the rhythm as soon as possible, so that does make sense. But here we go. This is where your lap starts, from here pretty much, because you've got to get this right. Any mistake through these two corners will cost your lap time. Will cost you lap time. But here we go for the first lap, for the first qualifying lap of the 2019 season. Let's go. Right, where will he brake? It's nice and early, doesn't want to lock up, just want to set a benchmark time initially. No point ruining your tyres, getting invalidated lap times. Set your benchmark first and then go for it. Very sensible. Through the parabolica. And now into hairpin. Couple of drivers ahead who will have to get out of the way as Weke misses the apex just a little bit, and it's fairly late to get on the power. Brakes a little bit late, bit of a lock up, but that's fine, not too much of an issue. Pretty much, I think that was flat through the right hander. Drops it down to 6th from 7th, nothing more. Down to 3rd gear, try to be as smooth as possible, back on the power. Nice and patient, and let's go for the lap. What is it going to be? It's a 1:12.7, and there you go. In practice I would have seen him in the top 10, but no one pushed to that level. But Twin Barrel J has improved on that with a 12.0. Remember I said the fastest lap would be in the 10s. Muller with a 12.6, but he's on the medium tyres, so he set his benchmark on that medium tyres. As Velocity James, he's having none of that. He puts on the soft tyres and sets in his 11.6. Again, track position will be important. It is easy enough to overtake here at Germany, but you do want to have track position. If you're going to use the softs or mediums instead of the ultra soft, that could see you down like 6-7 places, which could massively hamper your ability in the race. Especially when everyone else's tyres in front of you start to wear out and you're stuck in that traffic. Right, who can we ride on board with? Formula Danny, he's not setting his lap time yet. What about Photon? He's not out. Let's see, this is Bianca Lila, Monster White Lilac. It's a 13.6. He never seems to have the pace early on in qualifying. It always surprises me, as I think that was a Danny who was in the gravel. Let's ride on board with Daniele Haddad for his first qualifying lap. He's 3/10 up. I'm not sure 3/10 up on what. If it's up 3/10 up on Velocity James, that is fast. And now that we've got here, let's just put it on best tyres. On the power as early as you dare through the hairpin. Brake just as that grass begins on the right hand side, or just as the grass ends, sorry. What's this sector 2 going to be? It's 4/10 up, so this might be an 11 flat or just about. Again, I'm not sure what it's 4/10 up on. Black Panther's retired from the session. Has he been in the walls? Imagine if that's how his qualifying session ends and Daniele Haddad is into the pits. Tonizza is on his out lap. Who is on a hot lap? Muller is. He's 1/10 up through sector 1. What about sector 2? 2/10 up now. That will be about a 12.4 on the medium tyres as well. That is no easy feat. But then again, NLE Jury having a really strong running at the minute with a 12.3 on those medium tyres. Twin Barrel J currently sitting second on the Ultra Softs, but I can imagine that he will fall down from there very soon. It's a 12.1 from Muller, which puts him up into 3rd place. Right, who can we ride on board with? Photons in the garage. What about Calcifer? Calcifer is a bit far back. Let's sit on board with Tonizza, who is coming around to start his first flying lap in ORL of 2019. I'm going to be mentioning that a lot. Their first lap of 2019. Or will that give him a warning, or has he just really run it along the line? Little bit of screeching from the back wheels. Don't know how they do this. Right, but anyway, through the parabolica, there's a yellow flag in sector 2. Hopefully that'll clear up before Tonizza gets there. Brakes at about 120, locks up the front right tyres. He's really pushing it now. Flat out through the right kink. Brakes when the grass ends, or maybe just a tad before. As the exit speed is important, he pulls it all the way to the left as he puts the power on. Power on pulls the back end out, which helps him pull it over to the left, using up all the space on the entry into Mobile 1 and now into the Sachs curve, trail breaking it in. Oh, back end just always constantly on the edge of stepping out. Again, you have to be patient here. You don't want to run it too wide. And there we go. What kind of lap time is this going to be? It's an 11.9 on the medium tyres, and that sees him up into second place. VP Mark is off the pace right now. He's going to lift off. Calcifer could only go 7th on the medium tyres at 12.7. So he's almost a second down on Tonizza. But I don't exactly blame him. And I think that's Photon who's on a hot lap. Let's see if he can ride on board with him. Oh no, he's on an out lap. Never mind. Right, here we go. Daniele Haddad. Is he on a hot lap? No, but he's going to start one. Let's ride on board with him then for a lap. Throws it into turn 1. Definitely doesn't run wide. And it's so easy to abuse the track limits on the exit of turn 1. You just have to be careful, especially in the race. Just better to be safe than sorry. Of course, flat out down the back straight. Let's watch out for his braking point. Oh, quite late. It's about 110. Some really good braking there from Haddad. Watch out for him under brakes then in the race, because that seemed to be a fair bit later than Tonizza, and he had no lockup whatsoever. So very good on the brakes. As fast as you dare through Mobile 1. And now into the Sachs curve. He seems to run a bit wide, but you can take that double apex line through there. Calcifer gets well out of the way. Don't forget, Haddad is on the ultra soft tyres, so do expect a 110 here. Oh, it's not going to be a 110. It's going to be a 113. 113.1, so not fast, but maybe that's just his banker time. Who can we ride on board with? Who's on a hot lap? Photon. Let's stick on board with Photon as he enters Sector 3 now. So 59. Again, I have no idea where that fits in with everyone else's sector times. Brake just before the yellow DHL sign. DHL board sign? Same thing. Oh, that early brake. Formula Danny, he sets in 11.5. What tyres did he set that on? And it's Formula Danny, he sets a 12.3, but Formula Danny, sorry, Photon sets a 12.3 and goes to 8, but Formula Danny with an 11.5, and Myla has just put in an 11.5 on the ultra softs, but Formula Danny put on the medium tyres. He was on the soft tyres before, and he sets an 11.5. How has he done that? He's done it on those tyres. That is incredible. Formula Danny definitely one to watch out for then. Look at him just snap it back across through the right hander. There's a yellow flag around this area. I think that was just the person who let him through. Let's stick on board with Formula Danny. Can he improve upon his lap time? Still got 7 minutes of qualifying, and Black Panther is still out of the session, not having set a lap. Neither has Danny or Mechmester. Formula Danny is going to head into the pits. Mile is in second. That is a great lap from him. What about Twin Barrel J? He sets a 12.0, half a second off Milo, but he's in 5th. And you do start to wonder now, will some of these guys, will they risk being in this area around the likes of Twin Barrel J and Milo, or will they just want to stay well ahead of them? Which they can do by putting on, you know, the soft tyres or the ultra soft. Right. Let's stick on board with Daniele Haddad. He's currently in 14th place, but he's not setting a quick lap. He doesn't seem to be able to get these ultra softs to work for him, and he's going to head into the pits. So his next runs will have to be quick, because he's not going to get another chance after that. Mechmester is on his out lap. Who can we run on board with? Twin Barrel J's not exactly on a lap. What about Jury? Let's sit on board with Jury. Runs a bit wide through Mercedes. Twin Barrel J gets out of the way. Nice early downshift. Use a bit of engine braking, or as much as you can. Got the power nice and early, and now the patient game through the Sud curve. What is it? It's an 11.8 on the soft tyres. So, not enough to beat Velocity James. 2/10 off, and they both have done their times on those soft tyres. And he's probably going to lift out of that, but let's sit on board with Twin Barrel J, who is now on his hot lap. You would have to expect there to be more time to come from these guys. 5 minutes left. Twin Barrel J gets it nicely slowed down for the hairpin. What is his delta time going to be of sector 2? We'll have to wait until he approaches Mobile 1 for that delta. Bit of a lock up, and he runs a little bit wide through Mercedes. Drops it down 2 gears. Again, brake before the DHL. Not hard brake. Oh, he goes on the curb. You do not want to put a wheel on the curb. Your back will step out like crazy. Is he going to set himself up for another lap? No, he's going to come in the pits. What about Jury? Jury's coming in the pits, so he'll get one more shot. What about Formula Danny? He's in the pits. Myler's on an outlap. Could you imagine if Myler takes pole? The scenes will be incredible. However, VP Muller, VP is VSR Muller. Right. Actually, if someone knows, could you please let me know what VSR stands for, as in which esports team it is? Virtual Sim Racing? I don't know. Right. Anyway. Oh, he locks up. That's not going to be good for him. He's going to have to either come into the pits at the end of this lap and go for one more shot, or have a cool down lap. Meanwhile, Calcifer, he's getting ready to start his lap. We still need to wait for Bianca Lila, Daniele Haddad, and Calcifer. And both of them, we can both expect them to set much quicker lap times and move up the order. Don't forget VP Mark, this is his home race. He did mention at the social event how much he wants to win this. Right, 16.1, but again we have no idea what that is relative to. His previous best was on the medium tyres, but Calcifer, he's decided to go for no nonsense. Let's just put on the soft tyres. A lot of lockup. He does miss the apex to the hairpin. That should cost him just a little bit. What about Myler? Where is he on track? 15.6. What did Calcifer do? Okay, we'll check in a second. What's this? It's a 16.1 through that sector. Let's see what Myler can do. Myler's locking up. Let's see. It's a 15.6. So Calcifer is just unable to find the pace right now. DRS on. It's a 12 flat. Not bad at all. That sees him in 6th. But what about Myler? He set a really quick middle sector. But his first sector must have just been a little bit off the pace. It's an 11.2. Myler is on provisional pole. Crazy, crazy. I mentioned, what if Myler puts it on pole, and he's done it for now. Only 2 minutes left though of qualifying, and Velocity Formula Danny is coming over the line. VSR Muller, he's set an 11.3, but that's on the soft tyres. And that is going to be, he's going to have this lap to cool down and get himself ready for a second lap. Who else is on a lap? Tonizza, he's set an 11.9 on the medium tyres. But this is the thing, these guys, they're going for the medium and soft tyres, and that has allowed Myler to steal the show, as it were. Let's just see, can we change detail to fitted tyres? Who are the big boys on those hard tyres fitted? So Formula Danny, he's on the soft tyres. Let's stick on board with Formula Danny. Can he get in the 10s? I said pole position would be in the 10s. I still believe in that. I believe Formula Danny can do it. That was late braking. He braked after the DHL board that time. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close between him and Myler. He's done it. A 10.995 from Formula Danny to take the new provisional pole and take the pole away from Myler. And I said it. Did I not say? And Tonizza, he sets an 11 flat, but it's not enough to beat Formula Danny. Myler has been dropped down to the second row. Muller is in the pit, so he's not going to be able to improve. What about Haddad? He's going slower. Calcifer's not going quick. What about James? He's in the garage. Photon, he's had a slow first sector. What about Jury? Jury's on a 15.8. He's going for the medium tyres. He wants to sit on those medium tyres because he's only got twin barrel J behind him, and if he can improve, he'll get a good starting position on those tyres. Just watch for Daniele Haddad. He's currently sitting in 5th. What will this sector be? Remember, Myler did a 15.5 through here. Jury's on a 15.8. That's not bad considering he is on the harder tyres. Daniele Haddad came into the pits. Photon is still on a lap. Let's just go to Photon. Photon's in the pits. Mark's in the pits. Mark's down in 12th. Not what he would have wanted. And don't forget, Black Panther unable to set a lap. Jury, what's it going to be? It's a 12.1. And it's just not enough. He will be starting in 9th place. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That is extraordinary. Myler in 3rd, spoiling the party of these esports drivers. Massive, massive, massive congrats to him to be able to pull that off. But of course, the spoils of qualifying do go to Formula Danny, who took pole ahead of David Tonizza. I guess my dream of a Force India 1-2 will have to wait. So guys, as usual, I'm going to start recording on my Streamlabs just to set up for the highlights video that we will have to start shortly. So just let me get ready for that. Right, here we go. So I'm just gonna have to do my intro in a second. Are you guys ready for this? I cannot wait. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Online Racing League as we return, having taken our 2018 winter break, and it's now 2019 for the German GP. And taking pole at this 16 corner 2.8 mile circuit is Veloci Formula Danny for his second race in the Online Racing League. David Tonizza is joining us as a reserve driver. Him and Daniele Haddad are both AOR Split 1 drivers. David Tonizza is currently leading the AOR season, so you could possibly say that he is the fastest F1 2018 driver in the world. And he also has the lap record here at Germany on time trial. So he's currently in second place, but the spoils, the massive, massive shock was Myler, who took third place in a hectic qualifying session. However, he is starting on the ultra softs while everyone around him is either on the softs or medium tyres. VSR Muller, he will be rounding out the second row in 4th place. Also, his name has changed from VP to VSR, so that is going to catch me out sometime, so I do apologise in advance for that. Daniele Haddad in 5th, followed by Calcifer, who rounds out the 3rd row. The 4th row is the 2 Veloce esports boys of Veloci James and Veloci Photon, and rounding out the top 10 we have NLE Jury and Twin Barrel J. I guess possibly the biggest shocks is that VP Mark is all the way down in 12th, and the driver in 15th, Manuel Biancolila, is Muster White Lilac. Just to clarify that, because that caught me out. Right, so as usual, let's enable all of our telemetry. Let's put the gap down interval. Guys, get hyped. I'm hyped. Let's do this. Oh god, right. This is going to be entertaining, as ORL will be getting underway for 2019. 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go for the German GP. Formula Danny seems to get a good start. Mila's got a bad start on the Ultrasofts tyres. VSR Muller, will try to get past him. I'm already making that mistake. But no big changes. The NLE Jury has gained a couple of places, and he is on the medium tyres. Detail tyres. Ugh. Let's keep it at position change for now then. Meanwhile, Tonizza will be wanting to have a go at Formula Danny down into turn 1. But look just behind that. Actually, let's stick. Can he hold it round the outside? No, I doubt it. VSR Muller looking at the outside through the hairpin. I think he's going to get it to stick on Myler. Can he do it? He's now on the outside as they go through the fast right-hander. From Daniele Haddad's perspective, yes, Myler has indeed lost that position. NLE Jury is in 8th place. He has gained 1 place. Whoa! And he's had a massive lag spike there. What else? Biancolila, aka Muster White Lilac, he's gained some places. Also getting past VP Mark in the process. Twin Barrel J has dropped 2 places, as has Weke. So those are your big changes. Black Panther's gained 3 places. He started at the back of the grid after having a crash in qualifying, which saw him unable to complete a single lap. So watch out for Biancolila, Mark and Black Panther climbing up through that field. Who is getting close? Right, let's stick on board with Myler, because I have a feeling that he might start falling through the order a bit. After that was a fantastic qualifying lap. But Daniele Haddad, he's on the outside, which is now the inside as they enter the hairpin. And Haddad is through to 4th place. He'll be hoping to join onto the back of VP Muller and Tonizza, who are trying to hunt down Formula Danny, who we are now watching. So let's just stick with Tonizza. He is currently the esports driver for the John Alesi esports team. So a very, very quick driver. Esports Academy, I should say. So Myler has dropped another place. DRS is not yet activated. So let's stick with Myler, who has Calcifer right on his tail. And Calcifer will probably be trying to line him up soon. What about Twin Barrel J? Weke is really close to him. Not anymore. Right, oh, Veloci James is getting very close to Calcifer, but meanwhile there's a battle up ahead. What's going on? Daniele Haddad looking to have a go at VSR Muller through the final corner, but he's unable to make it work. I think Myler had a massive moment on the exit. Oh! James, I think, went into the wall there. I'm pretty sure James, what? Myler had a moment out of turn 1, lost the back end, and I thought that forced James into the wall. Maybe it was just a lag. It would seem to have just been a lag. Let's ride on board with Jury. He's diving for the outside, and he's run massively wide. That dive bomb was never going to work. I'm sorry, Jury. That was just a little bit optimistic, but it's all crazy here. Myler's dropped down to 11th now, so that should be the end of his fall down the order. Tonizza is still really close to Formula Danny, but unable to find a way through. However, from next lap, DRS is activated. Sorry, is enabled. So let's just sit with this battle here. I don't want to miss any of the overtakes from the front guys. I was about to say thank you for that great camera angle, but it has changed. And Formula Danny slowly stretching out his lead, so let's just sit with some of the guys behind. We have a massive, massive train over here. Who is close? Elsinger is looking at Weke. And he manages to make the move stick into turn 1. Jury has a 3-second time penalty. Let me just jot that down. What else is going up ahead? I think Velocity James might have just lost a place. But here he goes. He's going to have a shot at it down into the hairpin. He's going for the inside. Calcifer's not going to defend. He doesn't go for the cutback either. So Velocity James will take that position. But look at this. This has left Calcifer in the jury. In the jaws of Veloce Photon. Photon, he's going to take a look for the inside. Will he dive bomb it? Calcifer tries to break late. He runs wide. Now NLE Jury is right on him. Calcifer, unforced errors from the reigning champion. And Photon has 3 seconds worth of time penalties. But Jury's unable to capitalize on Calcifer's mistake there. Shez has 3 seconds worth of time penalties as well. Meanwhile, where's Black Panther? He's up in 16, so he's doing a decent job. What about Danny? Danny looked like he was fairly close. Right, who can we sit on board with? Mark is getting fairly close, and I just missed who got a penalty there. Right, let's go over to Tonizza, who is fairly close to Formula Danny. Maybe he'll be able to have a cheeky little look. I feel that he's just a bit too far back. No, he's not going to have a go. No. Right, what is going on down here then? NLE Jury, he's going to have a go on Calcifer down the inside into the hairpin. Calcifer locks up a bit. He doesn't go for the cutback. He tries to hold it around the outside. And he might just get it to work. It's going to be side by side now as they go through the right kink flat out. But Jury does have the inside. Calcifer, will he have a go down the inside into Mercedes? Is there contact? No, it's fairly clean. But NLE Jury will make the move stick. Calcifer is right on his tail though. Let's ride on board. No way is he going to do it around the outside into Mobile 1. But VP Mark, let's ride on board with Bianca Lila. He's got a perfect view of this battle. After Bianca Lila, there is a 3-second gap to Twin Barrel J. And that is the battle for the best of the rest there. So Twin Barrel J currently leading that. Bianca Lila lifts off, but Mark gets a really good exit. Side by side with Calcifer. Calcifer's dropping down the order massively. Just one mistake that seems to have messed up his rhythm completely. Mark gets a better drive, I think. Let's ride on board with Bianca Lila again. They've all got DRS. So this will make it that little bit more difficult for Calcifer. But Bianca Lila, he's got a great one. Will he be able to take all 3 of them? Let's ride on board. As Calcifer runs completely wide. What are you doing? That's Calcifer and Jury who have run way too wide there. But VP Mark holds on to 8th place. Bianca Lila just is able to overtake Calcifer. Right. And we've missed the battle. We've missed Daniele Haddad. He's managed to get past Muller. But Formula Danny, crucially, he has a 3 seconds time penalty. As does VP Mark. So the time penalties are flooding in, and we're going to have to be extremely careful just to keep up with all of them. Right, where is it getting close then? Weke is closing in. Photon, he's set a fastest lap of the race. So definitely going to have to watch out for him. Then he's going to be closing down. Who's he closing down? James at the present point in time. Shez is fairly close to Toffee. He's got DRS. Will he have a little go into turn 1? Probably not. But if he can get the drive, maybe he'll have a quick little look into turn 2 as Milo makes a move on Weke. Weke's into the... No, Toffee's into the pits. Let's just stick on board with Shez for a bit. He does have DRS on Weaves. Black Panther is up into 13th. He's had a decent run so far, climbing up the order. And Shez will make the move stick, but we're going to go up. Photon is closing in on James, and there is going to be a battle. But meanwhile, Daniele Haddad is closing in on Tonizza. So he seems to have very, very quick race pace. And now that we've got to this point, let's change our detail to the tyre compound that they are on. And Biancalile is on the medium tyres, so he's having a really good run at the minute. 9th place on the medium tyres is not bad. Tonizza, he's at a moment. The Force Indias have taken each other out. What is this? Are you kidding me? Tonizza lost the back end through turn 1. Haddad decided to go to the inside, but Tonizza was always going to come across the track. That is insane, but we have to focus because James is taking VSR Muller, and this is now for 2nd place. Crazy, crazy scenes now. We might possibly see a Velocity 1, 2, 3 finish. That is extraordinary, extraordinary scenes here at the German Grand Prix. Wow. Black Panther, he's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That came over the screen a few seconds ago. But this is just insane. Shez has lost his position back to Weebs, so they're having a good fight. Danny and Black Panther seem to be having a little battle, but we're going to stick with these guys because this is the battle for the lead. Black Panther makes his way back past Danny. Unbelievable scenes. I'm glad I went over and just managed to catch that, but can Muller get a good run? So from my dream of both Force Indias locking out the front row to the Force Indias taking each other out, which, to be fair, is not unheard of this season, or at least last season in Formula 1. But look at VP Muller, VSR Muller, he's getting a really good run, and he's on the inside. He's going to take back 2nd place from Velocity James. But can James get a decent run out of the hairpin? I don't think so, but maybe he might still be able to have a go into Mercedes. He's right tucked into his slipstream. He's going for the inside. I think he's going to get the place back. Great fighting between these two, but this is great for Formula Danny, who's just going to be able to stretch his lead now that the two Force Indias are out of this race. And Muller takes a 3-second time penalty. Jury has a 3-second time penalty as well. That's his 2nd one of this race. Oh, and I think, is he going defensive? Let's ride on board with Photon. He's not going to be able to get it to work, but Calcifer is closing in on Biancalile. Who should we stick with? Let's stick with Calcifer. Can he get the better run for now? Biancalile, he has a 3-second time penalty. He's not going to be able to get it work. Maybe into the corner ahead he can do it. But we have to stick with Photon because Photon is going to have a go at Muller into the hairpin. There's a bit of a lock-up. They leave each other room. Can Muller get the exit? Oh, back in comes out. There's a little bit of contact. Meanwhile, what's going on behind? Can we just take a look? Calcifer holds on to the position. VSR Muller right on the tail. And it's currently a Velocity 1, 2, 3. I can't wait to interview them if the positions finish like this. But Calcifer has found a way through on Biancalile. VP Monk's falling back. He will want to be getting properly stuck in with these guys. But let's go down to Shez. He was a 10th of Weebs a second ago, but he's fallen back a bit since then. But this is the battle. This is the battle we need to stick with. Calcifer on the soft tyres will be expected to pull a little bit away from Biancalile now. Look at this. So we've got a 4-way battle for 5th place, going from Calcifer, Biancalile, Mark to Jury in 8th, and then we've got the 3-way battle for 2nd. So we're going to have to try and keep an eye on all of this at the same time. And don't forget, you've got Black Panther, who's currently closing down Elsinger for 9th place. Ooh, I think I deserve a drink of water. Here we go, Biancalile, he pulls to the inside. And again, not going defensive. Calcifer just trying to keep his tyres. None of these guys have pitted yet. Toffee, Weke and Mekmester have. But those have all been due to having to do a... well, where's Myler? Myler's down in the 11th and he's done his first pit stop of the race. So he's actually sitting quite pretty at the minute. But Biancalila has made that work on Calcifer. Meanwhile, it's getting close in the battle for second place as the VSR Muller picks up another 3-second time penalty. That's his second one so far, but Calcifer right on the tail of Biancalila. And these positions are just changing with every single lap. Can Calcifer get a good run? Not quite. Mark's too far behind to really get anything to work. Jury's just trying to be able to tag along. If he can just get into their slipstream, he'll be able to have a decent race. But Biancalila is on a great strategy right now. But here it is. Calcifer, he is in the DRS zone and slipstream of Biancalila. He goes for the outside. Can Biancalila hold it down the inside? Side by side through the hairpin once again. Who's going to get the better drive though? Calcifer has the outside. He has the position as well. Biancalila will be trying to tuck in. Will he go for a dive bomb? No, he won't. He'll just have to wait until the hairpin next time around. Can Mark close in on this? I think he's too far back. What about Photon? Is he closing in on James? Formula Danny stretched out his lead to 3 seconds now as James picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his first one so far. Meanwhile, Jury is starting to close in and VSR Muller is into the pits. So it will be interesting to see where he comes out. Jury, again, not in that DRS range. But let's ride on board with Biancalila. He's going to have a go into turn 2. No, he's going to play the patient game. Let's ride on board with VP Mark. Biancalila seems to get the better drive out of the corner. And he's going to have DRS in slipstream. Surely he's got this to say. He does go for the outside. Waited quite late to decide on that. Could have ended badly. But Biancalila is going to make the play stick. And he's going to move back up into 4th. There's no chance of these guys. As Biancalila runs wide. But VP Mark tries to get the cutback on both of them. But it doesn't work. And because of his contact with Calcifer, Biancalila is able to hold on to that position. Jury still not within a second. And it leads you to wonder, if they were not battling, would he actually be anywhere near them? Calcifer. These two are just switching positions constantly. VSR Muller is not far behind these guys as well. After serving his pit stop, he's now 4 seconds down. And the front three have all pitted. So now Biancalila will take provisional pole essentially. And all of these front three, Velocity Photon wasn't able to jump James in the pits. That could have almost happened. But look how close Mark is. Jury is in the pits as well. So could he get the undercut? Watch out for this. Jury is in the pits. He's come out behind Black Panther. But you have to be careful now. If you are Biancalila, Calcifer, Mark, you do not want to be fighting because Jury will jump you. And as if by magic they are fighting. But VP Mark, he says, yes please, I will take that position off you, Calcifer, into the corner. And look who's closing in. It's Formula Danny. Will he get caught up in this battle? Will he play it safe or will he just try to push through? James is only 1.6 seconds down on them. VP Mark gets well out of the way. He's not even a back. Maybe he locked up there. But James and Photon caught up to Formula Danny through the pit stop. So it leads me to wonder if Formula Danny got caught up in the pits as the other two came past his pit stop. Black Panther is closing in on Elsinger. There's still a bit of a gap between them. But this is getting really hectic now. Are any of them coming in the pits? Mark is coming in the pit. And Biancalila has been able to stretch out his gap now. So Calcifer's tires must be wearing out while the mediums of Biancalila are still in there. And Mark, he's retired from the race. What has happened? Mark is out of the race. Did he crash going into the pits? I don't believe it. Formula Danny, Calcifer seems to let him through. No point fighting. Jury takes another 3-second time penalty. That's his third so far. So what happened to Jury then? Jury is closing in on Myler. but he's just a bit too far back. Myler's going to have a go on Black Panther. He does have slightly fresher tyres, but Black Panther holds it fairly well around the outside. Let's just stick with these guys because this is getting crazy now. And who is this? The Formula Danny wants to retake the lead from Biancalila. And Velocity James closing in on Calcifer, but I'm sure Calcifer will let him through. Calcifer's into the pits. And Velocity Photon now has DRS on him, but Velocity James had DRS as well. What about Formula Danny? Biancalila's not giving him an easy time. He's saying if you want to get past, you've got to do it properly. Muller picks up another 3-second time penalty as well. A fair amount of penalties going on. And I can't believe that's 3 of the esports guys. They are out, but Formula Danny will go for the inside. Remember, they are on the same compound of tyres. Although Biancalila's are much older, so expect Biancalila to go for that one-stop strategy. But Myler has made the move work. Okay, Black Panther's into the pits. And Jury's going to have a shot at Myler. He's going to go for the outside. Myler's going defensive. And he's got it to stick. No trouble at all. And Calcifer also goes down the inside. So Calcifer has lost the position to NLE Jury due to pitting that 2 or 3 laps later. So that has proved costly. And we did say if you were Calcifer, you don't want to be battling right now. But Calcifer does have slightly fresher tyres than Jury, so maybe he can just push a little bit harder on them. But James closing right into Biancalila. Through turn 1 they go, and Biancalila picks up another 3-second time penalty. This is going to be close just from the time penalties itself. As they go 4-man train now. VSR Muller tries to get a good drive, but I don't think it's really worked. Okay, Velocity James very close to Biancalila. I think he's going to get it to work. Will Photon also follow him through on his Ferrari teammate? Yes, he's got it to work. And maybe VSR Muller can follow through. Let's ride on board with Muller. Will he have a dive down the inside? Yes, he does. Side by side into Mercedes, and he gets a move to stick. Biancalila down to 5th place. And will he peel into the pits this lap? Myler is also able to keep up with Calcifer, even though he is on those older tyres. So a decent run from Myler so far. He did have to pit early because he started on the ultra soft tyres. But since that point, he has done well. And probably some good points coming up for Myler. Don't forget, Velocity Photon, Jury and Black Panther are all very close on points. So if it finishes as it's currently standing, Photon and James will probably switch positions. And Black Panther will fall from, will just drop away from these guys. Right, so Photon does just about have DRS. Formula Danny only 1.9 seconds ahead of these guys. So definitely a possibility that he's going to be within range of them. Let's just run through the penalties. Formula Danny has 3 seconds worth of time penalties. James has 3. Photon has 3. Muller has 9. So Muller is practically out of this. Unless he can find some unknown pace from somewhere. Calcifer is right on Jury now. Myler has fallen back, which isn't too surprising. Black Panther is on the medium tyres and is only 4 seconds down on Elsinger. Considering that he missed out on qualifying, this is a really good run from him. Right, so you know what? Let's stick on board. Oh, Formula Danny fastest lap. So he's going to be stretching out that lead now. Calcifer, how close is he? He's 6/10. Oh, who's in the pits? Biancalila. So Biancalila's in for his one and only stop, I'd guess. He's put on the soft tyres. That should last him 14 laps, I would imagine. Worst comes to worst, he'll plonk on a set of ultra soft tyres at the end. But Biancalila is going to lose a lot of time from that. But he's on the soft tyres and he will gain ground. He's going to come out in a lot of clear air. Just Myler between himself and Calcifer. Virtual safety car. What's happened here? VP Mark Mekmes that has crashed recently, and Twin Barrel J's into the pits. He pitted on lap 6 from the ultra softs, I believe. Shez has got a penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. This would be a perfect time for Myler to pit, actually. Who else is in the pits? Toffee's in the pits. But Myler, will he be able to make it to the pits in time? Formula Danny, could we see a cheeky stop onto the soft tyres here from him? No. James, no. Photon, no. If I was Muller, I would have gone for it. You've got 19 seconds gap to jury. So what has happened? Guys, if any of you guys know what might have happened, let me know. VSR Muller, he has another 3-second time penalty. That's his 4th. If he gets one more, he will be disqualified from the race, as Myler does come into the pits. He's done 15 laps on these tyres. But again, if that virtual safety car had just come out a little bit later, however, Photon close to Velocity James, but not close enough. If the VSC had come out just a bit later for Myler, he would have gained a lot of time from that pit stop. But as a result, he's going to come out behind Black Panther, only a second behind, so expect him to probably get past Black Panther. So the battle for 8th place is going to be quite tight between Myler, Black Panther and Elsinger. What other battles do we have? The race has pretty much calmed down, and that is primarily due to 3 of our front runners having crashed out, which, again, the massive shame. What is it with Force India drivers taking each other out? But Calcifer, he just doesn't seem to have the pace to close into jury. And Weke has ended up closing in on Weebs. But Velocity Formula Danny is being closed down by James. He doesn't seem to have this pace on the medium set of tyres. So we will have to watch this battle as it unfolds. Oh, James has a massive lockup. That cannot be good for his tyres. Again, all of these front 3 runners pitted on the exact same lap. VSR Muller pitted 1 lap earlier than them as well. So, again, his tyres will be slightly older, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference, because these tyres should get to the end quite easily. But let's take a look at this. Calcifer is quite close, but again, just too far away. Weke is closing in on Toffee, so perhaps we could see something there soon. But look at this. Bianca Lila is closing in on them. He's hunting them down. Meanwhile, James is right on the back of Formula Danny. Formula Danny struggling on the medium on the medium compound. Meanwhile, Weke is closing in. Let's ride on board with Weke just for a little bit. No, he's too far behind. Let's stick on board with Velocity James. Can he get the drivers? Velocity Photon has set the fastest lap of the race. James just hasn't got the best of runs. He's got DRS, but I think he's just a little bit too far back. Myler's closing in on Black Panther, so he might be able to have a go into this hairpin when they do get around here in about 30 seconds. So they haven't been able to get it to work, and they're pulling away from VSR Muller pretty well. But let's stick on board with Myler, because he is really closing in on Black Panther. And he'll probably have a cheeky little go into... Oh, Black Panther, he's run wide. And that's it. Myler's through. Black Panther, will he have DRS? He does have DRS, but he's just too far back. What about Weke? Weke's too far back to get anything to work on Toffee. But let's go back to our front runners. Velocity James. He has the pace over Formula Danny through that final sector, but you can't overtake there. He has to be able to get a good run either out of turn 1 or the chicane of 2, 3. A little bit of a moment. Velocity Photon might be able to pick up on that. He's getting close, and again, this race can go any way. All of them have 1 3-second time penalty. So, again, any of them can win. This is a race for position, even if you include penalties. But here we go. James is going for the outside. Can he get it to work? He's going to have a cheeky little look for the cutback, but it won't work at all. Formula Danny goes defensive into the hairpin and makes it stick. Anyone going to dive bomb? Photon, yeah, I'm sure he was having a think about that. But he ended up backing out of it. It looked like his wheel kept twitching. Shall I go? Shall I not? But there we go. Calcifer's found a way past NLE Jury, but we've been focusing on these guys, and rightly so, I feel. Maybe Jury can have another go soon. How far back is Jury? He is quite close, so maybe. But James, he's right on the back of Formula Danny through that final sector. He is faster. Formula Danny cannot seem to find the pace through the low speed corners. Was it high speed? I don't know. Through the high downforce corners, I guess. Sorry. Formula James trying to get a good run. He seems to, I think he's got a decent run this time. Perhaps he can have a little go. And again, if they make a mistake, Photon will pick up the pieces. Here he goes. He goes for the outside once again. Can he get the drive? Oh, there's a bit of contact. Not enough though. Side by side as they go into through the right kink. He's now got the inside for Mercedes. Can he make it work? Again, they're still side by side. It's a great race between the two of them. Milo's picked up a 3-second time penalty. And James tries to get the cutback through the right kink. But now side, no way through Mobile 1. Formula Danny has a compromised run. Can James possibly? No way. Not around the outside into Sachs. Formula Danny somehow holds on to that position. This is great racing from the two of them. As James goes onto the gravel, that's going to compromise him massively. Photon will be right on his tail, but he doesn't seem to get the best of drives. James will hold on to second place for now. Ooh. I'm glad I've got my water. Here we go. Let's just sit on board with Photon and watch the drama unfold ahead. Who gets the best run? James has got a really good run. And it looks like it's going to be side by side yet again through the hairpin. You just cannot write this stuff. James and Formula Danny side by side once again. Again, that little bit of contact, and that seems to affect Formula Danny just slightly. But it seems the exact same situation as last time, just that James is in a slightly better position. Formula Danny, he seems to run he runs a bit wide. And James runs a bit wide, and Formula Danny sweeps around the outside to take the position. Come on, guys, I want to know your predictions. Who is going to win this race? Meanwhile, Myla has managed to get past Elsinger, and Bianca Lila is right on the tail of Jury. So we've got a little battle going on there. So let's just try to ride on board with them. Because Bianca Lila on the fresher tyres, you'd expect him to be able to get the biggest advantage out of all of them. But then you've got the battle for the final point, which is Elsinger and Black Panther. Sorry, I just feel wrong if there was a change for the lead and I wasn't watching it. So Shares has a 3-second time penalty, but he's down at the back of the grid, so that's not going to really affect any of the points. Jury has another 3-second time penalty, but here we go. James round the outside yet again. So that's James's that's Jury's fourth penalty, and James has done it. James has taken the lead this time round. Oh. But look who's having a little go. It's Photon. But Photon can't quite make it work. He runs a bit wide. He's not going to be able to take second. But James has taken the lead, and I would expect him just to run away with this now. He has had the pace, especially through this final sector. So he's already pulled the gap up to 0.6 of a second. Meanwhile, Jury and Bianca Lila are battling furiously. Oh, look at this, side by side. And Jury was always going to lose from that. He was on the outside. Not the best side to be on as you enter Mobile 1. Meanwhile, Black Panther is ahead of Elsinger, but for how long? Formula Danny has DRS, but is he too far back? He's not going for the slipstream. James going defensive. Whoa, he brakes way too late. And Photon's going to pick up the position. However, he does get a better run because of that late apex, you could almost say. And VSR Muller slowly joining the fray. Bianca Lila and Jury are battling. Formula Danny has a little look down the inside into Mercedes, but he does have to back out. I think that battle is over now. But what's going on here? Bianca Lila and Calcifer battling for position. And Bianca Lila, I think, has made it stick. Calcifer, though, has DRS. Maybe he could have a go in Mercedes. Bianca Lila will go defensive. Or moving twice, I guess, kind of. I think that was kind of fair. But regardless, that's Bianca Lila who is through into 5th place. He's got 18 seconds to catch up to VP Muller, so I doubt he'll be able to get much as Calcifer picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Bianca Lila has 3 seconds worth of time penalties, has 6 seconds. So if Calcifer can stay within 3 seconds from these upcoming 6 laps, he will reclaim that position. Right, meanwhile, back to the Velocity derby almost. And Photon's having a go. He's having a go on James round the outside, but he locks up. Can Danny possibly take advantage from this? Hall nose to tail now. James goes defensive. Photon goes for the outside. Formula Danny, can he pick up the pieces? They both run wide, pushing each other wide. And Formula Danny takes the position on Photon. Photon, who got pushed wide by James. This is great racing. Photon will have to have yet another go at Danny. But Calcifer staying within a second of Bianca Lila, so maybe he'll be able to hold on to that 5th place. Bianca Lila will jump Chro in the championship and retake 2nd at this rate. And Jury's taking another penalty. That means he's disqualified. That's 5 penalties, which means Twin Barrel J will take the final point. So that's Jury gone. Muller has 3 time penalties, so he can only take 1 more. But Formula Danny, he's going to have a go at James. Down the outside into the hairpin. And of course Photon, he wants a piece of this. But I feel like he's possibly just a bit too far back. James definitely can't get something to work. Will Photon have a little dive bomb? He won't be happy with what James did into this corner. Mercedes last time out where he pushed him wide. That's what's brought Formula Danny back into this race. Black Panther has a 3-second time penalty, but Elsinger's 8 seconds down. So that will not matter. But look how close James is getting to Danny. Barely a second separating the front 3 with just 5 laps to go when they cross the line this time round. And Calcifer's still within a second of Bianca Lila. My voice is starting to go. Water time. How are they setting fastest laps like this when they are battling? That is crazy. Photon's too far back. Have their tyres started wearing out now? Bianca Lila knows that he needs to pull 3 seconds to Calcifer. But he just can't break that DRS. Shez has a 3-second time penalty. Let's go to Calcifer. I feel, is he too far back? Yeah, he's too far back. But he's close enough to get the DRS, which is crucial. Black Panther is 3 seconds down on Myla, and I'm pretty sure Myla had a time penalty, but I can't remember. So maybe if Myla has 2 time penalties, Black Panther may be able to jump him if he can close in within 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Velocity James just trying to close in. But again, he's too far back. I think Formula Danny might have found his rhythm now. Photon has fallen a second back of these guys. So, I think he's out of this. It's between Formula Danny and James now. Calcifer still within a second of Bianca Lila. We're going to try to keep an eye on that gap. Again, James has DRS, but he's too far back. Photon has caught back up, so I'm not sure if he got DRS this time round. Meanwhile, I feel bad for Twin Barrel J. He's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. 25 seconds down from Elsing and 26 seconds ahead of Toffee. So he's pretty much got 10th in the bag. Again, he will be taking 10th because NLE Jury has taken 5 penalties, which will see him disqualified at the end of the race. If you get 5 penalties or more in ORL, you do get disqualified afterwards. So that is a big shame for him, because if he had finished in 7th, he would have gained a few points. He wouldn't have jumped Photon, but he would have stayed ahead of Black Panther. As it stands now, Black Panther will jump ahead of Jury. Formula Danny has a 3-second time penalty. That is going to be crucial. That second penalty will see Photon move up to 2nd as well. So Formula Danny is going to really have to put the hammer down now. He's got 2.5 laps to do it. Meanwhile, Calcifer is still within a second. I think he's going to be able to jump Biancalila at the end of this, and he will therefore extend his lead in the championship. Velocity James, though, I'm sure he will want to win on track. Velocity Photon is full 1.9 seconds back now. He needs to stay within 3 seconds of Formula Danny. And Formula Danny will not want to be battling with James so that he can stretch out that lead to Photon. He just needs to stretch another half a second in the upcoming 2 laps. Meanwhile, Weebs and Toffee are battling for position, but we're just going to stick over here. I wonder if James knows that Formula Danny has that 3-second time penalty. And that's it. I think Photon is more than 3 seconds down. Not yet. But here we go. James is battling with Danny. And Formula Danny, I think, will just let him through as Biancalila picks up another 3-second time penalty. So 9 seconds overall. But NLE Jury has too many penalties to take advantage of that. And Formula Danny, I think he's let James through. He knows he had that penalty and he doesn't want to battle. He just wants to pull away from Photon. That must be what he's doing, but we will check with him in the post-race interviews. He needs to pull half a second this lap. And obviously he would want to tell James, I don't want to battle with you. Don't go defensive, just push. But he can't, and it's only 2.4 seconds. Can he find 6/10 on this final lap? They have been finding a lot of time recently over Photon. I think his tyres are starting to go. Who knows, maybe Photon will pick up a penalty at the end. Maybe James will pick up a penalty at the end. Then Formula Danny will be wishing he had battled for this position. But it is the final lap now, and we will be sticking with these guys until the end. It's a 2.9 second gap currently to Veloce Photon. Can he pull it? Will Formula Danny battle for this? I don't think he will. I think he'll lift out of it. But let's see. He's going for the outside. He is going to have a go. And he will go for the undercut. It's a 3-second gap to Photon at the minute. It's now 2.6. It's constantly fluctuating. These two should not be battling. It's not good news for Formula Danny. He should not have battled with this. If Photon picks up a penalty, it will be over. But he's going for the inside. But he can't get it to work. It's 2.1 seconds. 1.8 seconds now. Photon will take second. James will take the win on track and on time penalties as well. Formula Danny, just that penalty at the end has massively cost him. As they come through the final corner, and James will win round 11 of the ORL season here at Germany. But wait, James had a 3-second time penalty as well. Photon takes the win. So I missed out a second penalty for Velocity James. VSR Muller, though, he takes 4th place. If only they didn't battle at the end. I did not realise they both had the same amount of penalties. Meanwhile, Jury in 7th after all of his penalties. What about Myler? So Black Panther is 4.5 seconds down, and Elsinger's 9 seconds down. Sorry. So what's the gap going to be when he crosses the line? 8 seconds. So Black Panther had 3-second time penalty. Myler had none. What about Elsinger? 9.1 seconds down. Oh, so Black Panther had 9 seconds of time penalties. Elsinger almost jumping him. But alas, just too far back. But guys, that has been round 11 of ORL Season 10 here at Germany. But do not go anywhere because we will be having our post-race interviews very, very shortly. So it is Velociphoton who takes his first win of ORL. Followed by Veloci James and Veloci Formula Danny. So there are your penalties then. How many penalties did Calcifer and Biancalila have? Biancalila had too many. Jury, I'm sure he will be getting disqualified from the race. And I just want to check something. Let me just quickly check what that will mean for the championship. So Velociphoton will climb up the championship. He will overtake VP Muller, Bencito, but not Myler. He'll climb right to the back of Myler in 8th place. Meanwhile, Muscle White Lilac will gain points. He will jump ahead of Chro, but Calcifer, as usual, stretching his lead at the top of the table. So let's just see, do we have our... voice channel? Will that be starting soon? I'm sure it will. Usually Calcifer creates that for us. But Formula Danny, he will jump up the order as well. He'll probably jump ahead of Black Panther and Jury, I believe. But yeah, definitely an entertaining race. Not quite the levels of Austria, but the actual race itself was as good as Austria. But the final lap, obviously, is you're never going to touch an Austria final lap. Right, so yep, as I mentioned, just waiting now until we can interview them. We can get our cool interviews with these guys. Right, I think I'm going to mute the F1 game. Or should I have it in the background? Do you want to hear that little ring in the background or not? Hey. Hey. You seem to have a fun race.
Not really.
No?
No.
Fair.
I'm just a little bit disappointed because I had the pace, but yeah.
Fair.
I was too nervous at the beginning.
Ah, fair enough. Oh.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey. How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Do I have time to go for a quick piss?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
But with a very bad sound quality, right?
It's not too bad.
Okay.
Right, let me just go to Streamlabs.
Egy csatlakozz befutom. Azt csinálsz, amit akar. Nagyon egyértelműen le van írva. I'm sorry for Hungary.
Right. Doo-doo-doo-doo.
Hello, I'm back.
Okay. Alright. Just waiting for Photon to join, I think.
Yeah, he's a noob with Steam. But he's here, finally.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Right, okay, hang on. Let me why can't I change volume levels anymore? Oh, never mind. Anyway, Photon, are you ready?
Yeah.
First win of ORL. Although you finished third on the track, you, Formula Danny, and James, you guys had a massive battle. How was that?
Yeah, I can't say more.
Fair enough. But did you know how the penalties were shaping up, or because towards the end, I'm guessing your tyre life just started to diminish?
Man, a few words.
He is the Kimi Räikkönen of esports.
He is.
But he's not allowed to drink alcohol.
I just did not understand the question.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, what happened to your pace in the final few laps? Because the other two started to pull away.
I realized that my tires were in a pretty bad condition.
Okay. But how are you feeling after your first ever race win?
Yeah, it feels great.
Right. Thanks for that. And actually, one last question, which we're going to be asking all of the top three for unknown purposes at the minute. But what do you think of ORL so far in your 3 races that you've done?
It's a good community with fair racers, and we had exciting races in the past, and yeah, it's a good league.
Right, thank you for joining us, and best of luck in your next races.
Thanks.
Right, James, are you ready?
Hello.
Right, last couple of laps, I thought you were going to win it. Just talk us through the battle that you were having with Danny and Photon, actually.
I mean, first of all, Veloce 123 is pretty unexpected, but yeah, really impressive, and it was just a really good battle for the whole final, what was it, 20 minutes or whatever, with Danny and Photon. It seemed all fair. I was happy with how everyone drove, and it was on the limit because, you know, on this game you're doing ERS, DRS, fuel, saving the tyres, and then you got a battle as well. It's like, it gets a bit overwhelming, and I'm fairly new to the game, so yeah, I really enjoyed it, and yeah, finished P1 on the track, but yeah, just missed out on penalties, that's all.
I do have one question, because there was one moment where you and Photon, you had managed to overtake Danny, and you had pulled out about a second gap, and then going into Mercedes, the left-hander after the hairpin, you and Photon both went wide, and then all of a sudden Danny was straight back in it.
Basically, Photon had a run on me, and I went for the inside, and I think he used me as a braking marker. So I braked late, and then he braked a bit later, so we both ran wide, and then Danny got a bit of a run on us. But yeah, I had a feeling Danny was maybe saving his ERS at the end, because he dropped right off the pace, and then he came right back on the pace. So tactically that was quite clever, I guess. But yeah, really good race, really enjoyed it.
And the last thing I wanted to ask is, were you aware of penalties? Because entering the final lap, you would have stayed ahead of Photon, but because of your battling, Photon managed to bring it from about 3.1 seconds to about 2.5 seconds. So, were you ever considering not to battle with Danny just to try and pull away from Photon, or what was your thoughts there?
I didn't take penalties into account, to be honest. I thought it'd be, you know, in my head, it'd be fairer to just do it on the track. Wherever you finish on track, you can kind of take that as your, you know, that's how well you've done. I know penalties came into it, but I just really wanted to be Danny. That was kind of the main thing at the end. I thought, yeah, stuff this, I'm going for it. So, yeah, I enjoyed doing that, so don't regret it.
Right, and as I said, I'm going to ask all three of you this, but what do you think of ORL so far in the 2 races you've done with us?
Yeah, very good league. I actually said on my stream, it's not only perfect practice for Apex Online Racing for me, it's really competitive, you know, because I get to race some of the guys from Split 1, and in Apex Online Racing I'm in Split 2, so yeah, I really enjoy racing the best, because obviously Danny is one of the best, we all know that.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for joining us, and best of luck in the Apex Split
Cheers,
Racing, and yeah. Okay. Right, Formula Danny, are you ready?
He muted himself.
What?
Mikey.
He
Mikey, sorry, he muted himself.
Wait.
He was like, okay, I got bored speaking with these guys.
I thought he was going to speak to you.
I mean, he doesn't want to
Lol.
speak with an ego.
There we go, look, he just unmuted.
Wait. Hang on. Okay. Wait, is it working now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know how I managed to do that without knowing. I'm just way too tech savvy for this, for computers. Right. Formula Danny, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Right. I have to start with that battle with your 2 Velocity teammates. Go on, talk us through it.
Yeah, it was a great race. Obviously, I also wanted to win it, but at the mid part, I was just like wanting to save tires and EMS, because to be honest, when I saw Photon and James being about 2 seconds behind me, I was like, okay, it's no point of me pushing as hard as I can. I just want to get into a nice battle. And actually, they came on right on me after the traffic as well, and we started to battle with each other, and I was always very confident that I can still win the race, and I was very good on penalties as well, and with ERS and with fuel as well, because when there was like 5 laps left of the race, I still had like 2 extra laps of fuel and about 100% of ERS, so I had every opportunity to win this race. But in the last few laps, the positioning was the key, and James was very clever in that too. And in the penultimate lap, I purposely let him to get the lead. I switched down to none because I thought that it will be an easy backpass in the last lap for me in the DRS zone. But I could only get side by side with him, and he was still there on the inside. And I may have been able to brake a little bit later and then go around the outside in the hairpin, but I thought he would kind of dive bomb on the inside more aggressively, and that's why I tried to do a switchback move. But he really paid attention for the exit. He was very clever in that sense as well. And after that, I couldn't overtake him in the second shorter straight, and he covered all of the time the inside lines, and we had the same amount of penalties, so he both won on track, and Photon won on track, but against me, he both finished ahead of track and in terms of game time. And yes, I'm a bit angry because of my penalty, to be honest, because it was pretty much on the last few laps, and I didn't want to get that, but in no sense I won the race, because I finished second and I finished third. So yes, I should have been a bit smarter, but yes, it was a pretty exciting racing. I really enjoyed every moment of it. And congratulations to James and Photon as well. It's a great podium for Velocity Esports.
Yeah, obviously a 1-2-3 from Velocity, so that's a great job from you guys. Now, I've also been told you got to meet Lewis Hamilton over the winter holidays.
Yes.
How was that then?
It's correct. Like obviously, we are teammates now. Everybody at Mercedes can work with each other. We are in the same surroundings, so it was just a question of time when we will meet. And there was a good Christmas party, a well-deserved Christmas party for the team where basically everybody met everyone. So it was a great chance to chat with the real life drivers and the main engineers as well. Very good knowledge, very good persons, very good community, and I'm very happy to be a part of that story as well.
So I've got a question. As a Mercedes esports driver, does this mean there's a bit of a battle between you and the F1 drivers on who sets quicker times in sim racing, or is that rivalry not there?
We have different types of jobs. We can all learn from each other in different aspects of driving, but obviously a rivalry is also great because it helps us to always want to perform at the highest level. But as Lewis Hamilton wants to win the real life championships, our task is to win in the esports series.
Okay, great. And go on, in 3 words, describe ORL then.
Yeah, it's a pretty great league, as others said as well. It's very good that it's on this day because it's a very good practice for our other focus, AOR, as well. And it's a pretty exciting, great community with always fair battles, with only a few mistakes. But we are humans, we can make a few mistakes, it's not a problem. And I think commentary also doing great jobs, many live streams up there on YouTube from the racers. So there's a nice coverage from the virtual racing, which is really exciting. And I just love driving, to be honest. And I do not practice a lot to this, to be honest. Today I didn't complete like a single race on this track yet, only on esports, but it was 25%. But it's always nice to be in traffic, and I don't even really want to drive alone because it's so fun to race with the others. So you just want to be in the middle of everything because you know it will be clean and it will be hell of a fun. And it was that today. So I'm really excited to participate in more races in the future and have nice battles like that.
Right, thank you, and again congratulations on you guys for your Velocity 1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much.
Right, okay, actually, can we Daniel Haddad, are you there? We can't hear anything coming from the mic, so
Daniel, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you like to speak.
Nice. He said in the chat that his mic might not work.
Daniel.
Right. In the meantime, then, I'll go with VP Mark. If you're there. What happened? You were in the running, and then I saw you going into the pits. So I thought, okay, he's going for his pit stop, and then all of a sudden you had retired from the session. So, what went on?
I had leg spikes, so I just decided to retire. It's too dangerous. If I had another, maybe crashed someone out.
No, fair enough. That's a massive shame. I know how much you wanted to do well, and you were in a strong position as well. You were racing with Calcifer at the time, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a massive shame. So, again, I guess my condolences for that, and I'm sure you'll bounce back stronger for the next race.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fair. Black Panther?
Yes.
Right. I've got my question to you is, what happened in qualifying?
Well, I was for a flying lap, and at the last turn I just lost the back end and went into the walls. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame because if I qualified higher, I think I could beat Melee. I mean, I'm not sure, but it was pretty fast today anyway.
Fair enough. Well, it did let us see a great battle, and you came through the field pretty quickly as well. So, was it difficult, or easy enough?
Yeah, I was struggling at the first couple of laps to get some moves on, because yeah, they were a bit slower than me, so I had to lift off very much in every corner. But yeah, it was really fun, and I had some guys also at the start. I think 3 or 4 people. So yeah,
Right,
it
and
was fun.
and you had a few more penalties than Elsinger, and I think the gap right at the end was 0.1 seconds.
Yeah, it was like 0.2 seconds, I think it was. But the penalty system was a bit rough, I think, because I had some unfair penalties from my point of view, I think. But yeah,
Fair enough.
it was close.
Thank you for joining with us, and best of luck for the rest of the
Thank
season.
you.
Right, Calcifer, I completely forgot that you existed and that you know you were in that race. Too much stuff
Yeah,
going
I
on. I can't follow anymore. But 5th place was it?
Yeah, 5th I think. Yes.
And you mentioned that it didn't go great for you. So what was the main issue for you then?
I was too nervous at the start, so I did make some mistakes and lost the pace, and then later on, just I was too far away already, so couldn't catch them.
In qualifying, because I know you initially went out on the medium tyres, but then I guess semi-surprisingly, the likes of Twin Barrel, Jay and Myla, all of a sudden they were putting in times, putting themselves on pole. So how were you ever considering starting on the medium tyres, or were you always going to go to the softs?
I was considering, but the lap I did on mediums was too bad, so I went on the softs and did a great lap with that. So
okay. Well, thanks for joining us, and again, you always seem to be extending your lead in the championship. So, yeah, congratulations.
That's good. Yep.
Right, Daniel, are you there?
It's still not working.
okay.
I think.
Right, Twin Barrel, are you ready?
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Good qualifying and finishing in 9th. So, not bad.
Yeah, it was a very mixed race. Qualifying, I was completely surprised because I was not planning on being in the top 10 at all. And then probably started in the worst position possible on the ultras, which is 10th. So I didn't get the free choice that I was after. But obviously there were a lot of people going on the harder compound, so it made it a bit tougher. But still had a good start, and it was tricky the first few laps because there's a lot of much quicker guys in this league now. But with the ultras on, I could just about match them. So it's just trying to hold on those first few laps, but they just fell away very early. But I had some good battles with Melee. I came out of the pits after our first stops because I think we were both on the ultras side by side.
Right.
And then had a few incidents at the hairpin which lost me a lot of time, and then just to top it off, I vettled it into exactly the same corner he did.
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Oh.
It was too perfect. Me and Rage were just chatting away because Rage was getting a bit annoyed about a few things, and just sailed off there. But it was, you know, I'm happy to get points, but I never want to get points via penalties, really. I feel I could have been with Elsinger, Panther and Melee at the end, but it was a good fun race. I enjoyed Germany. It's a real challenging track.
Well, congratulations, and that's, well, there's always more points to add to your championship, and I think you might move up a place or two. So congratulations on that, and best of luck for the next race.
No problem. Cheers, mate.
No worries. Right, I guess that's it then. Right. Right, I'm going to sign out of YouTube. So, thank you guys everyone for watching. This has been round 11 of the ORL Season 10 here at Germany. And until next Thursday, guys, see you next time.
See ya.